Wow, what are we looking at here? It's a mine, a really cool one, and this is our destination today. So we're having some weather move in, and if you like exploring and heading out on the road less traveled, then you're in the right spot. Where are we going? What will we see? We are traveling deep into the Wyoming mountains to visit a time capsule that few people get to see. Along the way, we navigate beautiful fields, fallen trees, a vicious butterfly attack, and oh yeah, an epic Rocky Mountain storm. So grab your popcorn and a favorite drink and come along for the ride. This is where adventure starts. We are in Medicine Bow National Forest in southern Wyoming, and we're going on an epic adventure. We're going to go check out a mine that has a ton of really cool equipment around it. We tried to make it there, a couple of weeks ago, and we got blocked by snow and trees, so we're hoping it melted off a little bit this time. Come with me, because this is going to be a fun one. Man, so we're almost there. It looks like all the snow is melted off, which is really amazing because like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whenever it was, we hit like a 10-foot high wall of snow that just was covering the whole top of the mountain. I think we're past that point, and I think we're going to be able to make it into this spot. And this spot is so cool. I cannot wait to show it to you. You're going to love the type of equipment that is at this mine. Keep your fingers crossed that we make it. We made it. We actually made it. We ran across a little bit of snow. Sorry I didn't take a picture of it. I was just trying to get through it. One of the cool things with this video that's going to be something new that you guys keep asking for is I put a GoPro on Riker. The road to get up here is rocky, it's bumpy, it's narrow, and the thought of them bringing up this equipment you're about to see is just, it boggles my brain. I don't know how they did it, because they would have done it at a time where they were bringing it up with horses on carts. Well, the horses weren't on carts. The equipment was on the cart, and the horse would have been pulling it. But yeah, I mean, some of this stuff, it has to weigh multiple tons. Look at the size of this thing. So right now we're probably at about 10,500 foot elevation. There's a patch of snow over there still. But look at that old boiler right there. And then this thing, it probably would have powered, obviously it's steam, but it would have been powering some piece of equipment. And so what you're looking at is, it's an old mill site. Unfortunately, I have tried numerous times to figure out what this place was called. I've researched it on the internet. I've tried all kinds of stuff, but I haven't been able to positively narrow down what this place is called. Look at this. It makes you wonder how like this would have broke. But it was obviously a multi-story building at one time. But you can see how this whole thing would have turned. There probably would have been a big belt here. You had your steam coming in right there. And there would have been a belt on it here that was probably powering that piece right there. And then that one had a belt going from this piece to there, and then probably another belt going to another piece of equipment. But you can see how old this stuff is because it's all put together with rivets. I love this stuff. Look at all the pipes up there. So I would imagine these were all funneling steam somewhere, and those pipes were going through these manifolds at one time. Look at the rivets on this one. Look at how that one just like sheared off kinda. I would have loved to have seen this still a multi-floor building. And this is how I definitely know it was a mill. Look at the size of this thing. You can see the brick down the bottom of it. The size of that piece of steel there. An old wheel. Those old gears. Look, there's another one buried in the rubble over here. Look at the size of this piece of steel right here. And look how the weight of everything collapsing bent that. That would be so hard to bend because there's two of them together, you know. It's anyone's guess what they were using that for. Support for something, obviously, but yeah, just look at all the huge rivets on this. And then this is it's like some kind of a door right there. Look at those big rivets. I don't know, for some reason I love rivets. Riker's camera's all messed up. I hope the footage comes out good because this is the first time I've tried it. I've actually tried multiple combinations to get good footage of Riker, and it's hard because he just goes plowing through brush, and you know, it could be the thickest of sagebrush and he'll just plow right through it. So all the first combinations of cameras that I tried on Riker failed miserably because they literally got ripped right off. I've tried it riding on his back. I've tried it riding on his chest. And now I kind of have it on the back of his neck. And yeah, we'll see how it works out. I can already tell it's kind of leaning off to the side, but yeah. Anyway, how cool is this place? And look at the rock that they use. This would have been a really big building. I don't know how many floors it would have had, but I'm sure this was probably part of the furnace right here and would have been a smokestack going up. But yeah, look at that funnel on that one. How cool is that? Oh, let's try to get up to it here. Yeah. I don't know if that would have been smoke or steam going through this, but it's cool. Man, you could almost just go sliding back down through here. Should I do it? All right, I'm gonna do it. You got another view of that area right there. There's Riker. The camera's all fouled up. Should we go down this, Riker? All right, I'm gonna do it. It's a little tight. There we go, she opened up. Hi, Riker. We made it. It got pretty tight. This is what we just went through. And that smushed area, yeah, that was pretty tight for sure. There's another one over here. That one will be a little easier to go through. Now that you've seen the size of a lot of this stuff, can you imagine how difficult it would have been to bring this all up with a horse and a cart? I'm sure it would have been like this thing. You know, I'm sure they brought it up in pieces, but just one of those, just one section of this. I mean, like, let's say just this section right here. I mean, how much does that weigh? It would have been incredibly hard. Look, you can kind of see like a bearing-like material right here. That's kind of neat. It's like a lead. It's soft. They probably... Oh, and look, you can see the other side down there. Yeah, that's lead. Or if it's not lead, it's something soft. I'm sure it has some lead in it. Look at how they blasted away that section of rock there to make their wall. And look at how flattened this is. So that's probably from the weight of snow. I've seen winters where you're getting easily 30 feet of snow up here. But we're gonna go to another section up here. I believe the actual mine entrance was up this way. So I know you used to be able to see it. Somebody told me that that it's been covered up. So we'll go try to find it. But as I'm walking up here, sorry, I'm winded. Like I said, we're probably close to 11,000 feet here. I don't know what the actual elevation is. I'd say it's somewhere between 10,500 and 11,000. Yeah, so the air is a little thinner for sure. But I just saw something right over here, so let's go check this out. It's like an old ore bucket. Look at these pieces of steel. You can see the rivets in it. But yeah, look at this. Look at the rivets there. That's pretty neat. I love this stuff. It is just so cool to me. All right, let's go see if we can find that mine entrance. There's quite a few other mines in this area that were pretty big in their day, like Ferris Haggerty Mine, which was a copper and gold mine. More copper than gold, though. And I'd just like to say, it is a beautiful summer day today. There's a light breeze just to help keep you cool. But you can totally smell like the pine in the air, the pine trees. And there's flowers all around. You can smell that sweet smell from them. It's just amazing. I love it up here. Coming into the mountains is one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, so this would have been like another boiler. And again, look at those rivets on it. They're just so cool. And look, there's more cribbing all around here. So I think that the mine shaft was probably somewhere right around this area. Like that thing. How in the heck did you get that all the way up here in the mountains? Determination, that's how. And back in the day, those guys weren't wussies either. I mean, they frickin' worked for their living. Look at this piece. You can see where there would have been doors on it right here. Look, there's part of it. I don't know what that says. Hendry Boltenhoff, maybe? Manufactured in Colorado, though. Oh my God. Of course, the black lab finds the only puddle in the area. That dog loves water. And look at this piece of, oh, there's several really cool pieces of equipment. Look at that thing. I don't know what this whole thing would have been. Ah, man, look at that. That's so cool. It still has levers on it. So this was probably a hoist. And this probably was like a steam piston. This was probably a steam piston right here that powered the hoist. And this might even be right where that shaft was. So yeah, I think what's going on here... Oh, man, gotta watch my footing. I think this was probably the shaft. And there's your hoist for the shaft to pull ore buckets in and out. And you have your steam piston here that would power that hoist. And then there's your boiler that was powering the steam piston. And look, right here, this was probably the face of the firehouse right here. This actually, now that I'm looking at it, all this rubble right here was probably the actual furnace. And right there is where you'd shovel in your, right there is where you'd shovel in your coal or whatever it was they were using. The determination of men back then to get all this equipment up here and then work it. I mean, God, they probably didn't live past the age of 30, I bet. I love this. I know I've already said it, but honestly, I love this type of stuff. It's just, I just love this type of history. So there's another area to this mine. It's where they used to live. And so we'll go over there next and check that out. There's a couple of old cabins and then we still have that awesome waterfall to go check out. And there's like a little lake there. It's absolutely beautiful. So now we're over at the area where the miners used to live. And my guess is this was probably an outhouse right here. It's the right size and shape, but this would have been where they lived. And I'm not too sure about this. Maybe this was another outhouse, I don't know. But it's actually two different cabins. And it had a breezeway going between it. When I first started coming here, that breezeway was still up in the air. But yeah, it collapsed, unfortunately. An old can. Here's some more old cans. Yeah, so right in here would have been the breezeway. It's a shame to see these old cabins collapsed like this. Oh, jeez. Would have been a pretty big cabin though. Look over here, you can kind of see where they had shelving right along here. You can just barely make it out right there. I would imagine if you took the time to remove the wood from in here, you could probably find a treasure or two for sure. One of the weird things about this spot is I've never really found much of a garbage dump from them. That just means that it's here somewhere and I haven't found it. So who knows, maybe we'll luck out today and we'll be able to find it. There's a little patch of snow there. You can see the nice little creek they had running right by them. Oh look, there's like an old part from the mine right there. It's got gears on it. You can actually see they had a little bridge going across right here. See the logs across there? This was probably their pathway to get back and forth to the mine. The mine's like right over there. Pretty neat. Riker found the snow. They were using some big logs in here. Look, you can see where they had a window right here. So cool. Riker thinks it's cool too. God, you can just smell the pines right now. Oh, it smells so good. This actually, I bet you, was a cellar. You even have a little door coming out right there. So this is probably where they stored their food at, their perishable items. That little doorway is so cool. Oh, can we fit in through there? Can you fit in through there, Riker? You go first. Go. Sorry about sticking the camera in his butt. Wasn't on purpose, I swear. Yeah, not too much left to this cabin. Yeah, I bet you there's treasures underneath this wood. Okay, I'm going back in. Yeah, cool, huh? It's hard to say how many people would have worked here, and I'm sure they had to have had more cabins at one point. Because, I mean, to run with the amount of machinery they had here, I mean, I could only imagine you probably would have need a crew of at least 25 to 50 people working it, especially if you're going round the clock. You'd need a lot of people. So there had to have been more cabins here at one point, but they're just gone. There's actually another site to this mine that's further over that way. It's about a half a mile away. I don't know if we're going to make it over to that today because we're kind of running out of time, but one of these trips we'll try to make it over there. It's pretty neat though. It had tracks at it, and you know, like railroad tracks for moving ore carts. And it had a couple of big buildings at it. They're completely collapsed though, but it's a cool spot. So we're having some weather move in, and I don't know if you can hear that lightning, or the thunder, but it's not good. We are deep in the forest, and it's not the place to be when you have a thunderstorm. So we're gonna get the heck out of here, and then tomorrow we'll come back and finish shooting. Hopefully we make it out. So this storm just came out of nowhere, and what we're worried about is this mine sits in like a giant bowl. There's one way in and one way out, and it is super steep and rocky. And so what we're worried about is if this road gets washed out, we're stuck. That's it. There's no getting out of here. And we are deep back in the mountains. The other thing we're worried about, and you can't hear it over the sound of the engine right now, is there are lightning strikes all around us. And this forest is like a giant tinderbox, just ready to go up at any moment. So we were really worried that one of these lightning strikes could start a forest fire. So our goal right now is to get up out of this bowl where the mine sits at 10,500 foot or whatever it is, and get up to the main trail system, so that way we could have multiple routes to go if a fire does start and we need to get all the way out of the mountains. The other thing we're worried about is I only brought a small amount of fuel for my chainsaw. So if this storm starts knocking down trees across the trail, I can only cut through so many trees before I run out of fuel. And then again, we're stuck. So yeah, it was a seriously intense moment. I haven't seen it come down like this in a long time. Man, we just got dumped on with hail and rain. To get out of that mine site, it is a super steep climb out. And yeah, I wasn't sure if we were gonna make it or not. But we're looking good now. I think if you look over that way, I see blue sky again. So we weren't done filming at that site. I think the thunderstorm is past us, so we might give it another shot here. We're gonna give it a minute, see what these clouds do, and we'll be back. Yeah, we survived the storm. We came back. I wanted to get this waterfall, a shot of this waterfall, and get some more drone footage. So yeah, we're back, and what a beautiful waterfall it is. It's not a huge one, you know, but I think any waterfall is beautiful. That storm was crazy. It came out of nowhere. We could see gray clouds forming in the distance, but we didn't realize how quick it was going to hit us. And man, it hit quick, and it rained and sleeted, and summertime in the Rockies. You gotta love it. So I'm looking at this piece of equipment, trying to figure out what the heck it is, and I would love your help to try to figure this out. I'm sure it had something to do with steam, but it has a few weird features on it that make me think maybe it had like a molten, whatever it was they were trying to refine, going through it, if that even makes sense. It's high elevation. I'm getting a little loopy. Anyway, so you have these ports on it right here, which are interesting. And my first thought is this would probably be steam. What has me baffled is this. That's made, you can see, look out. You can see there's like a hole there, and something would pour out of it. And we'll go around over here and look from the inside. And it would have stood on legs, so this whole thing would have been upright, and it had doors here. So I think this sat right in here, and it had doors here that would open up. And you can see, like, oh, let me climb in here. You can see, like, I don't even know what that is right there. But something would flow out of it. And you can see where those ports are. They would go all the way around it. And then at that top end, you had two. We're going to go through it. And whatever it was certainly hot, because you can see these bricks, and you can see these bricks were actually heated up. So this was the insulation for the inside of it. So it would have been covered in bricks. It had all these little holes in it with a spot that something would pour out of. And then at the top you had multiple hatches. Like here's one hatch that would open. Then you had another hatch right there. And then you had this guy. And this shoots off at like a 45-degree angle. And it looks like it was probably lined with brick too. Yeah, so what was it? What I'm halfway thinking, because you have these massive, I don't even know what you call these things. They're not ore carts. They held molten whatever. I'm almost thinking that the molten rock would come out of that right there, dump into these, and then this big metal structure right here moved these around, and they poured into something else. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. No, but honestly, I'd love your feedback on this. Tell me what you think, because I really don't know. Really cool, though. This is just such a neat place. Well, I just want to say that I had a really fun time filming this. I hope you guys like it. Even though we encountered that storm, it was a beautiful day, beautiful forest. The smells, the flower, the crystal clear creeks are just beautiful in this area. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like it and subscribe. Thanks again. And one more thing, let me know how you guys like Riker's footage.